Butch and Fred, y'all dropped the ball. Timmy, I'm sorry, bro. Your show is trash. And Vicky, oh my gosh, they turned her. Okay, Viacom, do better.
Oh, okay.
Nickelodeon, a company that specializes in marketing franchises such as SpongeBob and the Fairly OddParents. Now, if you are not familiar with this show, the Fairly OddParents is an animated series created by Butch Hartman and it released in 2001. It follows the adventures of a 10-year-old named Timmy Turner who gets to keep two fairy godparents called Cosmo and Wanda due to the amount of shit that was going on in his life.
You are a sad, strange kid.
He literally got neglected by his own parents and abused by his babysitter called Vicky. The show went on to be successful and it had positive reviews, being Nickelodeon's second longest running show next to SpongeBob. The show originally ended after season 5, but it got revived for season 6 in 2008, which is something not a lot of people know about, including me, prior to when I wrote this. The show would introduce new formulaic and crappy characters and plot lines that would cause the drastic downfall of the show.
Look at how stupid this dog looks.
The show's final season was season 10, which is arguably the worst season of the show in my opinion. The show ended in 2017, and the creator of the show left Nickelodeon in 2018 to pursue other projects. In 2022, Nickelodeon attempted to recapture the magic of the original show with a reboot of the Fairly OddParents called The Fairly OddParents, Fairly Odder, that premiered on Paramount Plus and later aired on the Nick channel, which I'm praying to God that shitty reboot isn't canon. The show is a live action and animated hybrid, which shows how the people who worked on the show didn't care about how good the show was during production and only cared about making money. I don't even think its target audience even liked it. Butch Hartman wasn't involved, despite him being credited as executive producer. Anyways, the show would go on to receive negative reviews and poor ratings on TV when it aired on Nickelodeon, in which the poor ratings would probably be due to cable being literally dead. This year, another reboot was made that served as a continuation to the original series. The second reboot is called Fairly OddParents: A New Wish, and to be honest, it was way better than I expected. At the time the show was being announced, people were skeptical, with some calling it terrible, just for it being woke as it has a black main character. I would see why people would be skeptical, as normally reboots turn out being meaningless, nostalgia pandering cash grabs. I myself was skeptical until I actually saw the show, and it actually exceeded my expectations. In fact, I actually kinda like this show.
What? You stay out of this!
And now let me present to you guys my thoughts on the show. I'm not necessarily gonna talk about the premise of the show that much, because I'm a bit of a lazy bones who gets mentally wasted eating too much junk food. Anyways, the show's main character Hazel actually has a justification for wanting fairies, unlike Chloe, who was the character that was introduced in season 10 of the original show. Hazel starts to feel lonely and unsure of herself as she moves to the city of Philadelphia with her parents due to one of her parents applying for a job there, and she has a brother who moved to college. She isn't a perfect goody two-shoes, so she is actually a relatable character for kids. Overall, she has a very unique personality. Even though she is a bit similar to Timmy Turner, they have some differences. Timmy Turner is the one who actually got abused and neglected by his parents. Cosmo and Wanda's characterization in the show is actually executed well, and Cosmo's voice got toned down, so it's not air-bleeding anymore. Cosmo and Wanda are now a nice couple again, and they share great moments in the show. I dig the stylized art style of the show and the uniqueness of the animation. The animators worked so hard to make this 3D animated show actually replicate 2D in a way, and it actually looks visually appealing. The show barely has any bad episodes, and most of the episodes range from being decent to great. It has a lot of unique storylines, and this show actually has a character-driven arc, which is pretty cool. It revolves around Hazel's antagonist, and Hazel herself. Her antagonist is called Dev Dimmadome, and his character interactions with Hazel are actually pretty neat. In one episode, the show explains why Dev is the way he is. Dev is an egotistical, mean and self-centered kid who has a blatant hatred for Hazel, and in the arc he actually slightly changes his personality for the better, and he gets some character development. and he actually starts to appreciate Hazel as a good friend until one episode. I think they became friends again in the last episode, but I don't think it's officially canon. He also got to have a fairy in the show, and the fairy was Cosmo and Wanda's child. Dev Dimmadome also has a dad who is rich AF in the reboot, but in the original show, yeah, the design speaks for himself. His dad is also the actual reason why Dev Dimmadome is a fucking piece of shit. The show's comedy is also good as well. There are even some 4-4 bricks in the show as well, which as someone who likes meta humor, those 4-4 bricks were the funniest jokes of the show, I can't lie. The show also brings back some old characters. He also brought back Perry, his name changed due to that being a slur in my country, and Mr. Crocker. I'm pretty sure they also brought back even more characters, but I don't want to ramble about them, otherwise I'd be stuck in a mental maze right now. There are also some cute callbacks to the show as well. The show doesn't aim to use the old material for nostalgia's sake, and it actually uses it to further build out the decent execution of the show and its overall lore. I wasn't expecting an episodic show like Fairly OddParents to have lore in it, but hey, this show isn't SpongeBob, so what was I expecting? I also heard that some of the showrunners of the show worked on Craig of the Creek and Infinity Train. I actually like both of those shows, especially Infinity Train. Why the fuck am I stuttering? So that could explain why the show is good. There is honestly a lot to like about this show, and I'm not gonna spoil the show for you, cause I want you guys to experience it for yourselves. You don't have to watch it, but it's just a recommendation. We're in an age where Hollywood companies don't like to experiment and create innovative ideas, and instead create surface level and mediocre revivals. However, this revival and some others like the DuckTales 2017 reboot, the Adventure Time spin-offs, or even the Animaniacs reboot from 2020 actually juxtapose with those mediocrities in my personal opinion, and companies should do what these shows are doing, which are being good revivals, sequels, or whatever that provides solid entertainment and storytelling for consumers. The show will release on Netflix internationally later this year, and season 2 being greenlit depends on the Netflix viewership numbers, as confirmed by one of the showrunners of the show. I honestly can't wait for season 2 of the show, and hopefully this show won't get milked to death, though I doubt that this is gonna happen. Shows like this actually appeal to not only children but teenagers and adults too. Sorry if this video was rushed. Like some of the voice lines literally have like fucking echo in it or whatever. But I was too lazy to re-record the voice lines anyways because I was fucking tired. And don't worry, I'm gonna work harder on the next video though. Adios guys. I'm so tired.